Woo, what's going on today, guys? Thanks for joining the channel. Today I am on a Fatboy, a 2024 Fatboy. This is my third year in a row testing out this motorcycle, and I have to say this is one of my favorite Softails in the lineup. So I'm really excited to demo out the Fatboy again for the third time, and we'll talk about a few things. So as always, I like to kind of start out with like the ergonomics. Just so you know, I'm coming in at 5'8". You know, I've mentioned this in my previous videos, but I just love the ergonomics. The seating position is very relaxed. My arms are just very nice and comfortable. Seating very straight up, and I love these large floorboards, and it has forward-ish control. So the ergonomics is probably one of my favorite things about the Fatboy. The seat, to me, it's pretty comfortable for a stock seat. Now, I don't really know anybody that keeps their stock seat on a Harley. You know, for what it is, for being a stock seat, it's not so bad. Although I've heard from, you know, users or owners that the stock seat is not the best, but to me, I can't complain. The other thing about the Fatboy for me that's my favorite is just how large and in charge this bike is in terms of looks, right? It just has a really mean stance. It looks great. It's decked out in chrome. Really has like a classic modern blend on a Harley, which I really enjoy. You have this really large nacelle, LED front lights. It's a really nice looking bike. And also the Fatboy is well known for its thick, fat tires, right? 240 in the back. It's probably one of the largest rear tires from any Harley. To me, what that translates to is like just a really nice feel on the road. It just has a lot of traction. You feel very planted, and going on a straight line, this thing just goes off in a straight line like a freight train. Very easy to go in a straight line. To me, it soaks up a lot of the bumps and, you know, cracks on the road. All of those things combined, like the ergonomics, the low bend bars, the fat tires, it just really makes it for a comfortable ride. I remember the first couple of times that I rode a Fatboy, it really took me back by surprise at how, you know, when you took a turn, the bike just wanted to go back straight to middle. And it took me a while for it to kind of get used to it. But once you're used to it, it's really fun because, to me, the turns on the Fatboy are just way more interactive. You kind of have to fight the bike a little bit more. You know, you have to be really intentional about the turns, negotiating the twists and turns. So to me, that makes the bike a lot more fun. But if you want a bike that, you know, does the twisties really well, this is probably not going to be the best bike for that. Just saying. There's probably better bikes in the Harley Softail lineup that'll do that for you. But the Fatboy is not a slouch either in that department. You just kind of have to get used to it. That's all I'm saying. The Fatboy also comes with the M8 114. Hopefully you all know the specs around the 114 engine by now. But it's really powerful. You know, it's definitely got enough to get this bike going. Woo. Yeah. Just love how smooth the M8 engine feels on the Fatboy. Definitely has a lot of pickup. The other things about the Fatboy, you know, it comes with the 5-gallon tank, which I absolutely love. Really large gauge in the front. Easy to read to some degree. You just have to look down just a little bit. So right away, it's, you know, very well set up for cruising for a long distance, cruising around town, what have you. It's just a very comfortable and leisurely bike. Now, if you look on the handlebars, not much has changed. It has a typical Harley controls. Left turn signal, right turn signal here. You know, you have the horn. You can flip through your trip data. All of that stuff is pretty standard. But it does add cruise control here, new since last year, which is really nice. Now, this Fatboy also has a little windscreen, which I kind of like. Takes a little bit of that, you know, wind off of your chest. Very cool. Now that this is my third year in a row, like, taking out the Fatboy, these turns don't seem as difficult as it used to. It just takes a little while for you to kind of get accustomed to the bike, but taking turns on this shouldn't be too big of a deal. We'll go through a little roundabout here to see how it goes. Nice clunks into gear. Oh yeah, that feels real good. The shifter feels really nice. Very easy to find neutral this time around. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite Softails in the lineup. It just has the looks. I just feel really cool on this bike. It's large, it's in charge, it's got a lot of power. Yeah. It also has a really good amount of torque to move this 700-pound bike off the line. Yeah, this is a lot of fun, guys. So with the rear 240 tire, I feel like this, I feel like this bike has just a lot more, traction, and so you feel a little bit more of that torque. I don't know if I'm just making things up in my mind or not, but I do kind of feel a difference between, my Lowrider S and this bike. I just feel very planted. It feels very secure, It's very confidence-inducing, for sure. Yeah, just relaxing like this and cruising, this is perfect. I got these large floorboards here, very comfortable. My arms are just nice and relaxed. I can cruise like this for a while. All right, let's make a little turn over here. I'll get off the bike. Where's the kickstand? Right there. Man, this is just an amazing looking bike. Woo! Nice little Harley badge here. Looks really awesome. I really do also like the blend of chrome and like the black, especially in this vivid black. It just kind of pops off. Also forgot to mention your rear suspension, your mono suspension is definitely, you have the adjustment right here available for you, so you don't need to take the seat off, which is a really nice feature. Showa front forks, and like I mentioned, the big fat tires. So yeah, just a really nice looking bike. Man, would love to own one of these. This road has a little bit of twisties, so we'll test this out. Oh yeah, this feels real good. The leans feel really nice and confident. And I think it just might be due to the fact that the tires are much thicker, so you just have a lot more traction. So it feels really good. I'm not gonna say it's like the easiest thing to do to lean, but once you get used to it, you kind of understand how much force or how much pressure you need to put on the bike. But once you get used to that, man, it's very comfortable. It feels very nice. Yeah, that's very cool. Wow. Oh man, look at this. No bueno. Yeah, as I was saying, once you get used to it, it feels really good. It's not going to be as nimble as, say, a Street Bob, but you kind of take the pros and the cons with it. I would say, to me, right out of the box, way more comfortable than, most of the Softails outside of maybe the Heritage. So you got a bike that's, just definitely a unique looker, and you have a bike that's got these really nice fat tires. Like, who doesn't love a fat tire, right? And you have a bike that performs pretty decently in the curves, but mostly in the straightaways, it feels really nice and confident, very comfortable, lots of torque. Yeah, what more could you possibly want? With the Fatboy, it doesn't come with this windshield or anything like that, so it is a naked bike for the most part. But once you get a windshield set up and some bags, like, this bike is ready to travel. That setup with the cruise control, I mean, right there, you got most of everything you need. 5-gallon tank, floorboards, very, very comfortable bike. I would 100% take this on a long road trip. Definitely would do something like that. I think that'll be really comfortable. So for me, as somebody who's coming in on sort of the shorter side of riders, I would say this bike feels really comfortable. For taller riders, I think you all would do pretty well too. I kind of like these self-guided test rides a little bit more, because I can really kind of push the bike a little bit harder. Wow. Yeah, that feels really good. You could tell the difference. Just because there's just a lot more traction, like the tire to road ratio, that really translates into feeling like there's more torque. So yeah, that's pretty good. So what are some maybe potential downsides of getting a Fatboy? We already mentioned, it's not like the best Harley in the curves or the twisties, relative in the Harley world, right? The big fat tires is something that I have seen people kind of talk about as potential downside of owning a Fatboy. These are very large tires. They do cost a lot more just because, it's a bigger tire, it's a fatter tire, a lot more material that it takes to, make the tire, whatnot. And I've read that, some people have experienced uneven wear in the tires. I'm not sure if that's, universal or if that's just, anecdotal. But for what it is, I just wanted to put that out there. Other than the tires, I do hear about, people complaining about the seat. Now, I'm kind of feeling the seat here. Yeah, I see their point. It's not, there's not a whole lot of cushion. It feels very dense when I sit on it. It was comfortable for like the last, 30 minutes or so, but now that I'm kind of sitting in on a little bit more, I can see where some of the pressure points would build up or where some of the discomfort would come from. But other than that, for me, I think the joys of owning a Fatboy would outweigh some of the cons. I just can't get over how cool I feel on this Fatboy. Like, it's such a head turner for sure. And if you're getting a Fatboy, you're probably thinking the same thing. Like, this bike looks awesome. And that just kind of translates into how you feel when you're on the bike, when you're cruising, right? Man, this will be an awesome, awesome bike to own. I also forgot to mention these lake stirrer disc wheels. Man, this Harley, it just has so many unique features and like looks. It's a very, very special Harley, in my opinion. If you want a Harley that stands out, get the Fatboy. I'm gonna take this bike back into the dealership. That's gonna be it for me today, guys. Thanks for tuning into this video. I hope you all enjoyed my review or demo of this Fatboy. Again, this is my third time in a row, and each time I've loved it more and more. That's trouble for me because usually when I start demoing bikes that I like, I tend to end up owning them. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna bounce out of here, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.